time.
Wanda, welcome home.
Vision residents.
I'm gonna burn this place to the ground.
How's it going, everybody? It's Warren, and I'm sure by now, even before this video, you have seen Marvel Studios' big game TV spot that they aired during the Super Bowl a couple of days ago. This TV spot trailer, of course, gave us our first looks at the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series, the WandaVision series, and a brief little preview of the Loki series as well. 3 out of the 5 Disney Plus shows that are going to be coming to Marvel Studios' Phase 4. Yesterday, I broke down everything that you needed to know about the WandaVision series, and if you didn't catch that, you can check it out in the link up above. And today in this video, I'll be breaking down the Falcon and the Winter Soldier trailer that we got and the brief little preview that we got of the Loki series. If you're new, be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on everything happening in the MCU, and so you can enter my giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox One or a PS4, and I'll talk more about the giveaway at the end of the video. Okay, so the Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV spot trailer starts off with Falcon throwing Captain America's shield into a tree. Now, notice the form. He's throwing it just like Steve Rogers. Obviously, at the end of Avengers Endgame, we left off with Steve Rogers passing down the mantle and the shield to Sam Wilson, aka Falcon, making Falcon the new Captain America, or so we thought. More on that in a bit. But clearly in this shot, he's been practicing being Captain America. But where exactly is Sam right now? He's not in a place that we've seen before, at least not to anybody's knowledge yet. But it does seem like he's moved away from New York, where the Avengers compound was, and moved down south. The reason that everybody thinks this is because of the environment where he's at, the trees and the lakes specifically. These specific trees are found in southern states, which leads us to believe that he is somewhere down south. But why did Sam, who was supposed to be the new Captain America, leave the Avengers? Well, despite the fact that Sam helped save the universe in Avengers Endgame, before Avengers Infinity War, after the events of Civil War, he was a wanted man. And we know that, for whatever reason it may be, the government does not want Sam to be the next Captain America. Most likely because the government feels that he betrayed them when he went with Captain America to save Bucky. So, the government doesn't let Sam be the new Captain America, despite the fact that Steve Rogers, the former Captain America, passed the mantle down to him. So Sam leaves. Now, whether that's out of anger or whether that's because he wants to go into hiding, who knows? But he won't be alone for long. We quickly get into some awesome aerial action scenes. We see Falcon soaring through the sky with his wings, of course, chasing some people who are in wingsuits. Now, this could take place in the past, as we know that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier are going to explore just a tiny bit into the past of Falcon. But if we look closely, it's been pointed out that one of the persons in this wingsuit that turns around to shoot at Falcon looks an awful lot like Zemo. We've known that Zemo is going to be returning for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series for some time now. His role really hasn't been revealed yet, but of course everybody is expecting that he's going to be the main villain, and that Sam and Bucky are going to have to track him down. But it looks like they do so pretty easily, at least Bucky did. The next scene we have is of Bucky and Zemo. Bucky is holding a gun to Zemo's head. But in another scene, which appears to be a part of the same scene, we see somebody dropping bullets. And this does appear to be Bucky's hand. If you notice, when he's holding the gun, he's holding it with his right hand. And the bullets that are being dropped out of the left hand. Now you notice that the hand looks black, almost like somebody's wearing a glove, but this is most likely Bucky's new vibranium arm, which is black. And if this is the case, that means that Bucky does in fact track down Zemo and finds him, but doesn't kill him. Instead, it kind of seems like he forgives him. But why would that happen, and how did Baron Zemo actually get out of prison? Well, there actually are a few pretty simple explanations for how this could have happened. One is that he could have escaped during or after the snap, or now as everybody is calling it, the blip. He could have been in prison and some prison guards could have been blipped out of existence, which could have led him to escape somehow if he managed to get some keys or managed to find a way to open up the door, or he could have possibly been blipped himself. Now, in Spider-Man Far From Home, they showed us that the people who got blipped out of existence were snapped right back to the exact same spot when they were snapped in the first place. Which means Zemo could have been snapped out of existence, the guards could have noticed that he was missing, and his cell could have been open when he got snapped back. Now, although I think that these are very possible, what I truly think is going on here and how I truly think Baron Zemo got out of prison is I think that Thunderbolt Ross let him out. I think that Zemo is going to be one of the first persons recruited for the Thunderbolts. A few insiders in the community have said that they can confirm that the Thunderbolts are indeed coming, and they're most likely going to be Thunderbolt Ross's Thunderbolts. And Ross does have the power to let Zemo out of jail and pardon him for anything that he may have done. So Marvel may be making Zemo out to be the main villain of the show, but perhaps there's more that we don't know. Because if I had to guess, it's probably Thunderbolt Ross who was the one who said Sam can't be the new Captain America. If so, it seems like Ross has a master plan that we'll see unveiled in Phase 4. And then, to top the trailer off, we get our very first look at the new Captain America. Now, I've noticed that some people are actually kind of confused about this. I hear people are asking the question, is this Bucky or is this Falcon? Well, it's actually neither. It's US Agent John Walker. Now, this is going to be a government-appointed Captain America as it was in the comics when they introduced US Agent. And it's actually a pretty similar story to what's going to happen in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Steve Rogers is no longer Captain America, but of course America needs a new Captain America. Sam was supposed to be the new Captain America, but the government decided that it wasn't time. So instead they chose US Agent John Walker. And in this footage we can see a welcoming for him, a sort of celebration for the new Captain America. The band is playing, there are fireworks shooting off in the background, and everybody is cheering for him. He has a new suit, of course, it can't be like the last Captain America, Steve Rogers, and if you notice, he has a new Captain America logo. And of course he has the Captain America shield, but if you notice, it doesn't show the front of the shield. Therefore, we can't tell if this is the same shield that Captain America Steve Rogers gave to Sam Wilson, or if it's a completely new shield made by vibranium or another very strong metal, or if it's perhaps a prop. Because you have to remember that when Captain America first came around, he was kind of used as a publicity stunt by the government. He was used to get people cheering and to get their hopes up in a time of war when things were pretty bad. And it seems like they're kind of doing the same thing with our new Captain America, US Agent John Walker, by holding this big celebration for him. And the new Falcon and Winter Soldier footage ends with Bucky and Falcon shaking hands in front of wherever Falcon is currently at. This is most likely where the two of them reunite for the very first time. And then we move on to a very brief clip of Loki.
I'm gonna burn this place to the ground.
Now, although this is pretty short, it actually has a major Easter egg and detail that you may have missed. You may notice that he's in somewhat of a prison-like uniform, and on this uniform are the letters TVA. Now, you may think that's nothing, but TVA actually stands for the Time Variance Authority, and is actually quite a big reveal about what's happening with Loki. The Time Variance Authority are a timeline agency. The Time Variance Authority was introduced in Thor number 372 in 1986. They're an interdimensional agency whose main purpose is to maintain the boundaries between alternate realities. If somebody in a timeline, or perhaps the entire timeline itself, becomes too dangerous to the surrounding timelines, the Time Variance Authority will step in and attempt to eliminate the threat or eliminate the entire timeline in order to protect the surrounding timelines. They also attempt to stop people from altering the past or future events to their own benefit, which we know 100% is confirmed that Loki is going to do. One of the synopses for the Loki series says that he will travel throughout time and impact major historical events, and that is exactly what the TAV is designed to stop. And as we can see from this footage, they've done their job. Loki is in their custody. Now, this does confirm that Loki has in fact been traveling through time, affecting major events. And he's not just traveling in his own timeline, he's traveling in alternate timelines as well. So gallivanting throughout time, doing whatever he wants, would definitely put him on the TAV's radar. And most of the timelines that involve the Avengers did get cleared up when Captain America returned all of the Infinity Stones. However, of course, there were still some loose ends, Loki being one of them. So Loki was most likely the only, if not one of the only, major threats to the TAV and other alternate realities. Now, it is worth noting that in the comics, the TAV isn't particularly good at their job. In fact, they failed to stop Annihilus and Kang the Conqueror in the comics, and they actually have to call on help from the Avengers quite often. But somehow they managed to capture Loki, unless Loki wanted to be caught. Let's go back to the very first Avengers film where Nick Fury captures Loki. But Nick Fury quickly points out that he feels like Loki is the only one that actually wants to be on the ship, which was true. Loki intentionally got caught, which leads me to believe that now he intentionally got caught by the TAV. They were probably following him around for some time, and knowing Loki, it was probably pretty annoying to him. And we hear him say in the trailer, "I'm going to burn this place to the ground." And he says that with that classic Loki mischievous smile. And that smile definitely looks like he's saying, "This was my plan. Get captured so you could bring me to your base and so I could escape and burn it down." But who knows, perhaps they're competent in the MCU and actually did manage to capture Loki. But let me know what you think about the first looks that we got at the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series and the Loki series as well. Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe with notifications turned on so you can stay up to date on everything relating to the MCU, and so you can enter my giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox One or a PS4. The winner gets to choose, and I'm picking a winner at 550,000 subscribers. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.